We all remember those episodes that we loved as kids, the ones that once you saw that title card, it was time to lock in. For me, it was the episode of Ed, Edd and Eddy where they build a cardboard city, or the Krusty Krab training video. Though I often watched to the end believing that this time the network wouldn't cut off the narrator because I was a stupid kid.
Okay, the secret formula is...
But the episodes I think back to most are the ones that break the mold. The kind that go, nah, not this week. Today, we're looking at one of my earliest experiences with that trope. Josh is Done from Drake and Josh. Hey guys, Zibboyeye or just Zib is fine, and welcome to Episode Study, a new series in which I explore episodes from the excellent to the excruciating in hopes of exacting why they exhaust or excel. We'll see how long I keep this series up before I go back to movies, especially if I have to say that every time. So first, why this episode, or more aptly, why this show? As an autistic child, I was as picky with media as I was with my food. In other words, I demanded a steady diet of 100% cartoons for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Whenever a live-action show came on, that was my cue to change the channel, and Drake and Josh was no different. Until second grade when all my friends would do was quote the show. So tired of feeling out of the loop, I went home and gave these two a shot. And I didn't regret it. I ate it up. For those who don't know, Drake and Josh follows the exploits of, well, Drake and Josh. Becoming stepbrothers as a teen, the free-spirited Drake cares little for all else but the 3 G's: girls, guitar, and a good time. Meanwhile, the nervous and nerdish Josh is marked not only by his smarts but also sensitivity. And if you need me to explain their little sister Megan who torments them, you've really been living in a treehouse with no door hole. Drake and Josh isn't just the first sitcom I loved, it opened the doors to live-action TV for me. Countless episodes have my girlfriend and I leaning back in laughter now more than when we were kids. But today, we're looking at an episode infamous for scaling back the slapstick. So let's relish in the couch potatoes we are and look at Josh is Done. Josh is Done opens with Josh studying for a chemistry exam until Drake begs him into a game of ping pong. The next day, Drake drives off without Josh, leaving the poor teen late and locked out of class. Sick of all the dismay his brother causes him, Josh avows that this cycle is over. He ceases to associate with Drake. They are brothers no more. This is an episode from Season 4, and it can only be such. Drake has instigated so many conflicts in the series, it's no wonder Josh is done. But beyond that context, Josh can only assert himself like this by the final season. The character has developed beyond the dorky oddball he was at the start of the series. It's no more succinctly summarized than 6 episodes prior in Who's Got Game.
I'm not the same little goofy kid that moved in with you 3 years ago. I know. Good, you're taller.
Even looking at the iconic Josh emphasis,
It's spherical! Spherical!
he only does it a few times in Season 4. It plays down his quirks by this point. Watching the show is like actually seeing this kid grow up. That's just the wider scope of the series. This episode alone allows Josh the agency to go, I quit. And the result is a wholly believable person. Not only did Josh grow, but so did Josh. I'm talking about Josh Nichols the character and Josh Peck the actor. I'm always surprised going back to this show just what a riot he is. His faces, physicality, delivery.
We're on E! Well, maybe E means extra fuel!
It makes me wonder why he started picking up stupid gigs like Oppenheimer. To this day, this is probably my favorite children's sitcom. Definitely my fave from Nickelodeon. And it's hardly a Nickelodeon sitcom without this guy in the audience. Did anyone else notice this as a kid? I always noted it and knew when a show had no actual audience. Though I'm not a fan of canned laughter, it hardly kills comedy for me. Especially for a show with reverence to the genre like this. The sitcom is designed to be cheaply produced on a stage. Although not really shot in front of a full house of viewers, the conservative cinematography Schneider's Bakery employs helps sell the veneer they're going for. Even if that appeals to me more as an adult, Several gags hit the nail on the head for its younger target demographic. Like when Megan brings home this stuffed whale.
And look, it's also an energy drink.
Well, that's a horrible idea. The plush would get all sticky, so would your hands. If you aim wrong, you're getting a shot of monster right in your cornea. Who would make this? But as a kid, you're like,
that's awesome, I won one.
Also, another cornerstone of Nickcoms is the equation screaming plus random act of violence equals funny.
Could you ask someone else?
Sure!
And I can't disagree with that math. The episode uses comedy particularly well in its structure. The first act plays up the laughs, which only makes the dramatic turn more potent.
I'm not mad at you. I'm done. This is a house where I live, and I guess we'll be roommates until the day I leave for college, but that's all we'll be, is roommates.
Speaking of structure, it's as though the characters are aware things must go back to the status quo by the end.
Come on, you know how many times Josh has been furious with me? I mean, he'll pout for a day or two and then he'll get over it.
Drake's weaponizing the show itself. If I had to characterize the script in one word, it'd be self-aware. It has to be to revolt against its own series. The episode looks at the pillars that sustain a show and tears them down. One of the first rules to making TV is developing a story engine. The story engine keeps the series running. It's why conflicts recur. For Everybody Loves Raymond, Raymond deals with domestic quarrels ranging from his strict wife to his nosy family next door that always butts in on his business. In My Name is Earl, it's Earl's quest for good karma, chipping away at his itemized list of bad deeds which he seeks to make up for. You can more or less figure out a story engine by asking, what can I expect in this week's episode? The next rule of TV writing is blocking the exits, or why a character can't just get out of the situation. This applies to all narratives, really. Back to the Future. Why can't Marty just go Back to the Future? The time machine's busted. Why can't he just wait until it's fixed? If he doesn't get his mom to fall for his dad, he's gonna unexist. For television, blocking the exits maintains the story engine. Back to Raymond. Every week, Ray's parents barge in from across the street. He can't move, he's settled down with his wife, 3 kids, and a stable job. Even then, it's his family next door, he can't just get out of that. My Name is Earl. Why can't Earl just say, forget the list? Beyond his newly found moral compass, karma's a bitch, and a convincingly real force in that show. Blocked exits can be found by asking, why can't they? So now that we know what to ask, how do these rules apply to Drake and Josh? The story engine. Drake and Josh are two polar opposites forced to live as brothers whose clashing personalities often get each other into hot water. But they can't clash much when one just ignores the other's existence.
I'm done.
What is that supposed to mean?
I don't want anything to do with you anymore.
How can he do that? What about the blocked exits? They're brothers, they're family. Not anymore.
I guess we'll be roommates until the day I leave for college, but that's all we'll be, is roommates. I'm done with you.
Somehow Josh managed to escape from the entire premise. Josh is done, breaks the rules of TV. It takes the stitching that binds the series together and rips it apart at its seams. The show unravels from there. When once Drake's tendencies often dragged his brother down, now Josh's life looks up. Everything goes his way, counter to Drake's assessment.
He needs me way more than I need him.
You think?
Come on, without me, Josh's life would totally fall apart.
And this is what firmly planted this episode in the recesses of my mind, as it did many my generation. The tonal shift.
This guy a friend of yours?
No, he's not.
Josh!
The comedy can only provide so much levity to Drake's inner tragedy as he struggles to come to terms with his own dependency.
You need me! You need me! So Hoagie and a Grinder, same thing, huh?
That's
Yeah.
right.
Peck absolutely sells it. It's brutal on the viewer. In my head, I'm begging Josh to even just glance at Drake. The ep is committed to the bit, and no scene further exemplifies that than the impactful climax. The shoe on the other foot, now Drake barely scampers into class on time. Paired with a new lab partner, the teen gets covered in chemicals. After suffering humiliation in front of the whole class, Drake has had enough, in a performance that speaks for itself.
I need you way more than you need me, all right? I'm sorry. I'm sorry I'm probably the worst brother in the world, and, you're way better off without me.
Sorry, Josh, I'm sorry.
And after all that, what does Josh say?
Would you like to go talk to Drake?
No. No, sir.
Any other episode of any other show would chomp at the bit to have Josh rush out of class and hug it out with his brother. But it won't even give us that. It drags the distress one step further, and that only sweetens the payoff. By now, Drake looks about how I look in front of the TV until...
We have unfinished business, young Szechuan.
The two continue their ping pong match, brothers once more. Just like that, order is restored. The show is back to normal. And rather cavalierly, might I add. They don't milk a sappy, "I'm sorry, me too, I love you bro," out of the scene. Just a few jokes and ping pong. We know how they feel, but more importantly, they know how each other feels. That unspoken understanding of one another sells their convincing, believable brotherhood more than wordy dialogue ever could. Josh is Done is both expectedly humorous and surprisingly gripping. It takes a uniquely meta approach to the writing that breaks the rules of its own show. Whether stirred by the intelligent script or its latter half's unrelenting tone, Josh is Done won't leave your mind anytime soon after a viewing. Heck, it's stuck with me since I was 7. As much as it is a different episode, it nevertheless exhibits why Drake and Josh remain special to me. The show may dabble in the off-the-wall quirkiness that absolutely saturates later Schneider productions, but its authentic duo and grounded premise aged well for now matured fans. That keeps me coming back, and it's likely why many, including myself, crown it the king of Nickelodeon sitcoms. Thank you for joining me on this first episode of Episode Study. Admittingly, I'm unsure how often I'll discuss TV given I'm more of a movie guy, but I needed to get back into scripted videos some way or another. So if you enjoyed my analysis, check out my film reviews, especially this one where I talk about found footage movies, including one that UFOologists actually took as a real recording of aliens. I worked really hard on that video. Anyways guys, I've been Zibboyeye, or just Zib is fine, and thank you for watching. Zibbo, bye bye!